Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Gone Digging live from the Relic Room. I hope everybody had a great week going out and exploring the world and finding treasure. Um, it's been a good week for me. Let's go check out and see who we have here in the stream. Right now, 14 wonderful folks hanging out with us. Our guests this evening are first in the chat, Coils the Soil, Jimmy Cloak, the Silva Hunters. Very awesome to see you. Lincoln Central, Metal Detecting Virginia, the finest metal detecting Virginia channel and name you can find. Longest Howl, what is up, my buddy? How are you? Larry Stewart, J Mart, Adventure Archaeology, Old Dominion Diggers, Digging with Seven, Lloyd. Nice to see you here hanging out. The best moderator money could buy, Chaos Paddlers. Randy Rowland, nice to see you in the chat. Cliff says, sup, my diggers. Hi, Cliff. Dallas Williams, Mark Sexton, Size Detecting, Miss Nugget Shooters here, Mudman Mike, man, we've got 19 folks. Ralph McGee, Jim Steele, Randy Rowland, Monica Moreland, man, all kinds of new folks I haven't seen in the chat before. Thank you all for stopping in and hanging out. Let's see, what do we do this week? I've got a video coming out on Thursday about the true real-life parts of metal detecting, Copperhead's metal detecting, what is going on. We went out to this beautiful, beautiful farm field, and it was absolutely brutal. We found 0 items, so I don't know how I'm going to make a video out of that, but we're going to try it. New hat, my Gone Digging brand merchandise. The Silver Hunters first visits here. Finder Keepers is here. Shoebuckle Bert. So anyway, yeah, great stuff happening around the internet and the live stream. So I'm very excited about that. But what I'm more excited about is our guest this evening. I don't want to say accidentally, purposefully bumped into our guest, Coils the Soils, Jim and Gina, on the King and Queen Open Colonial Relic Hunt, put on by the Triangle Hunt Club. And we had a great time. It was great to meet them and hang out with them. But they're a digging couple, and there's not a lot of digging couples. I know Miss Nugget Shooter and Mr. Nugget Shooter hang out and dig together. But, you know, there are not a lot of digging couples. And I said, man, I want to get them on the stream. I've seen them on Flash in Your Pan. I've seen them around the internet. We live in the same state. So we might as well hang out. And they've got some cool stories, and we're going to tell all of that stuff right now. Hey, guys. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Hey.
So we have Jim and Gina from Coils to the Soils, which is absolutely probably one of my favorite YouTube names.
Cool.
So let's start off way back. How did you guys get into metal detecting?
I've actually been in metal detecting since I was like 20, 21 years old, so I'm 56 now. So me and my brother started a long time ago, way back using compass metal detectors, and when we lived in California, and we did beach hunting and parks and stuff like that. And since then, I've been doing all types of treasure hunting, gold prospecting, and all types of stuff like that. So Gina's recently new to it, so.
It's been just over a year, and I'm having an amazing fun time. He asked me to go with him so much for years, and then finally I went with him. He got me. He went to go sell some of his gold. He was like, "Babe, just come with me real quick," and he ended up buying me a beach cruiser and a Coach Curse with some of the money he got. So I was like, well, maybe we can help add to that. And so I think the first time I went out was only like 20 minutes, maybe 30. I was done. I was tired. But
so So for you, Gina, so you're like, oh man, I mean, he's finding, we're making a little money doing this. Like
Right?
maybe this could be fun. Maybe we both find a little bit of gold. But was there a find that you found that you were like, this is great. Like I really like doing this now.
There.
That's not how it started out. I mean, it started out
Okay.
like, oh, my arm hurts,
I was whining.
and
Um,
and then
it's true.
it kept getting longer and longer. And I said, look, you need to pay your dues. You know, just like
It's
everybody
true.
else, you need to pay your dues,
It's
and
true. It's
you
dumb,
can't
but
just
it's
walk
true.
out. I mean, it happens, but to walk out and just find a gold ring or something right away, it's not. You know, you got to learn the machine a little bit and stuff, and it only took half a month, and then next thing you know, she ordered her own Equinox and paid
It's
for
true.
it herself. I was going to buy it as a gift, and
No.
she jumped the gun and said, "Hey, I'm going to get this." And then even
Yeah.
then, that was a learning curve for her, being a newbie at metal detecting.
Mm-hmm.
And at one time, she came up crying to me and saying,
It's
"Hey,
true.
look, I think I wasted my money." And I said, "You need
Darn.
to just keep looking and hunting." And then she found her first silver ring, and that was it. So
Yeah. And my first buffalo nickel.
yeah.
I love the buffalo nickel. I found that first one, and I was super
So
happy.
and so we got to hang out at the King Queen Open relic hunt, and I will say that's not the person I saw out in the field that day.
Oh,
One, I mean,
No.
you guys saw the video, but what you don't understand in that video is it was miserably cold that day, and then you add the rain in it. It just one, it was a beautiful place, but it was not enjoyable at all.
No.
no,
No.
it
It
was.
was pretty rough. It
We
was
haven't
rough,
done very much relic hunting, so
right?
we have a huge
Right.
bucket list
Yes, because we
because we're
haven't
mainly
done
beach
too much
hunters.
relics.
But
Right.
so yeah, when we get out there, we'll hunt 5, 6, 7, 8 hours straight without
Yeah,
eating or anything. I mean, we're
that's true.
really into it. So
Yeah,
Well,
well,
I
um,
I
bring
mean,
crackers.
that's an incredible improvement in a year from from
20
not
minutes.
like whether not knowing your machine or not knowing this was a hobby to this woman who is
Yeah,
hardcore out digging holes in the middle of the rain.
I love it.
I was impressed. I have to be honest. I'm like, man, I'm not even digging that hard. That she's hardcore. I wouldn't want to go digging with her all the time.
oh man,
I think when I dug that fuse from that bomb, like I lost my mind. Like that was so exciting to me. It was like this is from World War I, and it was so exciting. And I'm like, we need fields.
I thought it
We
was
need
that big
fields.
chunky gold ring you
Well, that was fun. I like cashing that in, and finding gold is always great. But that like I said, that fuse was pretty awesome, and
I mean,
bullets, and
she's more hardcore too on not only the digging but the editing of our
yeah,
videos. She spends a lot of time on that. We're still learning that. I mean, a lot of learning on
yeah,
that. And
trust
it's a
me.
lot of hard work editing videos. And I
Oh,
mean, some of the
oh,
finds we
absolutely.
find too is some of the finds we do too is just the research on them. We don't know what they are,
Yeah,
so I'm trying to research them and find out what they are, and that's a lot of fun too. So.
it's,
That
it's a
that's
lot of
really
fun.
cool. So real quick, I wanted to say big big shout out to Shoebuckle Bert. He's going to be having a surgery, and we hope everything goes well for that, Bert. So thoughts, we'll be thinking about you for that. And then some new folks who jumped in, 5280 Adventures, and somebody else new to the stream, Forrest. So awesome stuff, Bert. We'll be thinking about you. I just wanted to throw that out there. Um, so so you guys started. I mean, obviously, how many years did you have to bug her to go digging?
Oh my God. Well, we've been married 25, so um,
Not
you
that
know,
much.
I hunted for a while, and then I got out of it for a little bit, and I started playing competitive disc golf, and so I started doing a lot of tournament disc golfing and stuff like that. And after a while, they got a little old. Not that I love it, but
Right,
I've
right.
always been back and forth, in the metal detecting. So I get some machines, and then I turn around and sell them because we need the cash, a little bit of hard times, and I get back into it again. So um,
Yeah, I mean,
But
and that's that's the real part of it is that this is a hobby, and that if you were able to put things together, I look at all the stuff that I have behind me, and it's really cool stuff. But if I had to feed my family, I certainly would get rid of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
yeah, I love it. You got a relic room there. I love
That is
that.
pretty
We have a
cool.
relic room too. It's called our bedroom, but hey.
We're not that old. He's just kidding.
What? So the so you guys, you started gold prospecting in California and beach hunting, and so moving to Virginia, the easy place to go is the beach. You guys beach hunt a lot, right?
Mhm. I love
Well,
it.
we're surrounded by them, so it
Yeah.
seems to be the easiest. And we live in I'm going to say it, Yorktown. So, and we're actually on the old battlefield, and
So that's fun.
there's a lot of strict laws down here.
Yeah.
Hmm.
A lot of strict laws with the metal detecting stuff. So, beaches is the easiest way to introduce anybody to metal detecting too, versus digging, in the mud and the dirt and the rocks and stones and stuff like that. But there's so many beaches out here. And you never know what you're gonna. I find
Right.
cannonball fragments on Yorktown
Mhm.
Beach. Stuff like that. We find old coins, so you find a variety of all types of stuff depending on the storms.
So,
So,
and for
um,
folks who don't know, Yorktown is the end of the American Civil or American
Mhm.
Revolution, and then it is the very heart of the Peninsula Campaign. In 1862, as McClellan retreated down the peninsula to be picked up in all of his boats to retreat back to Washington. And
uh,
so
yeah,
you guys have all gamut of American history, which is incredible. And the waterways, I mean, the beaches make all the sense in the world, right? You don't have to get permission
Mhm.
as long as
Nope.
it's an
right.
open beach, right?
Oh
Yep.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of beaches that you're not allowed to hunt out here. And there's some of the beaches have regulations where you have to have a pass and stuff like that. Majority of Yorktown area is close to metal detecting. In fact, if you get pulled over and you have batteries in your detector while
Yeah.
you're driving, it's just as bad as poaching. Um, so you
Yeah.
really got to be careful with that as far as the rules. Same with Williamsburg. But I
Yeah.
mean, to get on permissions, I mean, you can do whatever you want on permissions, but just the private, there's regular land. I mean, there's only one section of beach that's really open to us detecting, so
Yeah. In Yorktown.
in Yorktown. So
Yeah, right on.
a lot of
And
strict laws.
and I mean, I guess that's really good for the folks who are watching too, that it is that important to know what your regulations are where you live.
Definitely. I mean, beyond dressing up like deer with a metal detector, I mean, don't do that.
That's actually happened in Yorktown before.
So,
Like, obviously not us,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
I
like
was going
10
to
or
ask
12
who
years
would be the
ago.
front and who would be the back if you did it, though.
Crazy. So, but a lot of the other beaches are open,
Yeah.
and especially the Virginia Beach areas and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And um, they're a lot of fun. We have a lot of friends that we meet out there and stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah,
but
that's really neat. So so you guys say you don't relic hunt a lot, but when you get to relic hunt, where do you guys go? I mean, what are you targeting? Are you looking for house sites? Are you looking for fields?
we're trying to do more relic hunting is what we're
Yeah.
trying to
We
do.
are.
So, being that we're still kind of new to Virginia, we don't know a lot of people, but
That's true.
we're working on getting permissions, and we just recently got some of the tools that you need for relic hunting.
Yeah.
Um, we're set for beach hunting, but for relic hunting, it's a little bit different. But
Yeah.
so we're
We
starting to get
can.
on permissions and stuff like that. And I mean, if you watch some of the videos, well, we only have two relic hunting videos out right
That's true.
now. we wanted our logo to be part, relic, part sand, and Larry does all our designings for us. He also, in some of our videos, he hunts, but and we came out with a beautiful logo with the part of the barn. I don't know. Let me see if I can show it to you. I'm sure.
That is a really, really cool logo.
About the lighting.
I mean, half beach, half farm. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So
we just got to figure out how to ask for permissions.
Yeah.
Because you don't just go knock on strangers' doors, but apparently you do just go knock on strangers' doors. So yeah, you got to figure that out.
It's learning how to network, I think. Yeah. I think it's that network, and I think that honestly, the more I do this kind of stuff, the more I get to bump into folks like you. This networking is honestly, I think, as important as knocking on somebody's door.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Because it's cool. I mean, we live in the same state. Shoebuckle Bert says he lives in Williamsburg. I know all kinds of folks around here, and this platform, YouTube, has opened it up to go hang out with Tony in Colorado and DK from Adventures in Dirt. So it's really opened up a lot of opportunity I don't think I would have otherwise,
Yeah, definitely. Gotta love the YouTube. I mean, we've made so many friends, and met so many people. So
yes. That's a lot of fun, and people we never ever would have met before.
Right, we got 80 something videos out, and I mean, like, you could binge watch us. But you get a little bit of celebrity kind of, thing going on. When you're out metal detecting on the beach and people are, walking up to you going, "Hey, I watch your videos. I love your videos."
Yeah, that's fun. So that is fun.
And we love hearing from those people and talking to them too. So
yeah, I like that too. I think it makes it. I think it makes it so that you feel like you're doing something positive. I don't think any of us want that kind of celebrity. Like, I don't want people knocking down my door and stuff like that. But I do want to feel like what I've done has a positive impact on somebody's day. Yes. Dude, Shoebuckle Bert, man.
Make one person smile. It's great.
Oh,
nice.
Huge.
Man. Dude, you have to do that. Holy crap.
That's huge.
Holy
Sorry,
crap.
my eyes keep drifting over to the
I know, right? Trying to watch the chat.
I've never, Bert.
But back to Gina, she's an animal out there. She just cracks me up. I mean, our first relic hunt, she'll just sit in the mud and dig, and it doesn't matter. It's she's.
Well, it's easier than bending over.
Right, but I mean, you'll dig deep. I mean, had you not found that was it, pit hole that you found or whatever on the relic hunt? If she found it, she would have dug it on the.
Oh man, I would have loved to have Gina come dig that thing with us.
She would have dug it by herself.
Relax, Scooch. Let me in here.
She would have dug it by herself. My God. She's not big either. She weighs like 106 pounds. I mean, so.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about. I mean, that's kind of some of the history of how you guys got started. Let's talk a little bit about your equipment, like. So you guys said you're not quite set up for relic hunting, but you're all ready to go for beach hunting. Talk to me about what you guys use, how you set it up, all the way down to what your coils are, your coil selection, all that stuff. Gina, you're hunting with an Equinox, right?
Yes, that's about the only one I use is the Equinox 600 with the standard 11-inch coil. I don't switch any of that out.
I mean, what more do you need for beach hunting, really?
Right. It's perfect. I can go from dry sand to wet sand.
Right. If she wants to go in, and it's hot and to her knees, she could go directly from dry sand to wet sand to water without making any adjustments on the machine. which is
yes,
an awesome, to be able
makes
to do
it
that.
very
So,
easy.
So,
Yeah.
so
me,
Gina, how do you set your Equinox up for your style of beach hunting?
On mine, I search in the beach one. Most of the beaches, if there's not too much black sand, I'll keep the sensitivity right about 20, 21. Sometimes I have to turn it down a little bit if there's a lot of black sand. Um, and most of the time I'll discriminate. Obviously, I don't want, the pipes and tin and all that coming up. And then there's a couple numbers in there, like 15s are almost always garbage. Like, I don't know, 99 out of 100 times they're garbage. So I'll discriminate 15s as well. But yeah, I'll dig any solid signal. So even some that are bouncy, because a lot of times it's 2 or 3 targets in one hole and you're getting several numbers. So um,
The that's interesting too. I think that that's really smart because if you notch out one target, why waste like 99 times out of 100 that's junk, and you may be missing a gold ring at 15, right?
maybe,
But
yes.
but
But I
if
have
there's the
not had
opportunity
to.
to dig more gold rings at different numbers, why do you really have to
Yes.
focus on that?
Right. So I'm going to spend
mm,
2 hours digging 149 bottle caps, or I can spend, an hour and a half looking for, the other good target that, I'm not getting. So yeah, yeah, definitely. I try really hard to get bottle caps. They're kind
So,
of
Jim,
um,
what are you
frustrating.
hunting with?
my true love is my Excalibur 800. I love it. I call it Frankenstein. I rebuilt it. I actually purchased it for $100. Put another 400 and something dollars into it and rebuilt it. It's been my biggest gold ring finding machine. Actually, I found that 14 karat gold bracelet with it. I love that machine, but I also have an Excalibur 2. I do like it. I can't max it out like I can my 800. As far as sensitivity, I can max out the 800, whereas the Excalibur 2, I basically got to run it around 6 or 7. Very seldom will I be able to put it in auto. There are some beaches I can put it in auto. Of course, the volume's all the way up and no discrimination at all. So I love hunting with a threshold. I used to hunt with pulse machines. Love the pulse machines, but got tired of digging bobby pins, and I love the fact that the Excalibur nulls out steel. So
Right.
I'm not relic hunting out there, so I don't need it in all
Right.
metal. It does hunt and discrimination, but I have zero discrimination on it, so it really doesn't matter. I do have a Knox 600. I'm still learning that machine. It frustrates me sometimes, being that I come from Garrett, a line of detectors. That's what I originally used to hunt for many, many, many years, was Garrett. And so the Knox frustrates me a little bit as far as the BDIs and stuff go. But and the fact that it's light, I like a heavy machine. I don't know why. I'd love to get a CTX 3030, just maybe because of the weight.
Yeah.
um,
See, and when I hunt on the beach, I hunt with the CTX 3030, and generally I hunt with a 17-inch coil. So if you want a heavy machine, I'll sign you right up for one of those.
yeah.
Wow.
I
Um,
mean, I got mine set up on, I'm mainly in the water, so I love water hunting. It's an adventure every time you get in the water. You never know what's going to happen. So, I got puffer fish swimming around me trying to get my scoop and stuff like that. But yeah, you need a heavier machine to hunt the surf. I mean, where the Nox is just a little light, those waves will kick it out on you. But the heavier machines work really great in the surf. So,
right on.
and I'm
The
sorry, go ahead.
I'd be interested to know if anybody in here prefers a heavier machine over a light machine. That I would really be interested to know about that. I personally hunt with. I have an XP Deus, but for you guys who've seen my GPX I hunt with, that thing is a absolute beast with that 18-inch coil. I should I should weigh that thing to see how much it weighs.
Yeah, I find it easier to keep the coil to the ground with a heavier machine. I mean, you might not be able to swing it as long, but I feel like I could slow my swings down with it because it is a heavier machine. I have the Anderson surf rods on those things, so it actually keeps the controller of the Excalibur out of the water. Not that it would hurt it to get wet, but I've got it so balanced that you can balance it on. I can hunt with just my pinky underneath the handle. It's, but I still love the weight on it. So,
Wow.
Not
Oh,
me.
wow.
and then as far as the Knox goes, I hunt in all metal with that. So, very seldom do I get discrimination on that. I usually hunt all metal. I'm still trying to compare depth between, a $700 machine and a $1,500 machine. So, the Knox has done some great stuff. So, the trash, being able to, decipher trash from treasure right next to each other. It's got some depth to it. It's a good machine. I highly recommend it as an all-around, whether you're a first hunter or you're an advanced. We're not sponsored by Mind Lab, but it's, they say it's a great machine. It really is a great machine.
It's
I
deep.
think I think for probably right now the best all-around machine for the money. If you're looking at a mid-range detector, I think the Equinox is probably going to be your best bet.
Yeah.
You
Whether
know,
you're hunting parks, whether you're hunting parks or beaches or,
Mhm.
I'm not dissing Garrett. Garrett puts out a great product, but as far as, going from relic hunting, which it exceeds in, I mean, it's awesome. The Garrett, AT Max at AT Pro, but if you get it on the beach, you're great in the dry
The dry
sand. But
sand.
once you start hitting that wet sand, you got to balance it. You hit the
Yeah, he doesn't
darker
like the
sand, you got to
water.
balance it. There's too much chatter, and unless you get out to like knee deep or waist deep, that's the only time I can get the AT Pro to calm down was out in the water a little bit. But other than that, it's whereas the Knox, you could just walk straight from dry sand to wet sand to surf, hunt in the water up to 9 feet, and then turn around and go hunt the grass and not even just put one adjustment. So
yeah, Digging
great
with
machine.
Sevens talking about the GPX says it's heavy but surprisingly balanced, and you don't swing it like you might a light machine. I think that's interesting too because what you're going to do is you're going to be much more thorough and much more methodical in covering your ground and covering your sweeps.
Right.
You
And
know.
I still yet have not figured out why they put a threshold on a 600.
I don't know.
I don't know. So if anybody
Um,
knows, why did they put a threshold on the MindLab Knox 600? There's no
um,
use for it unless you're gold hunting, and you can't really, I don't know.
super. So I use a threshold on my CTX 3030, and the deepest of deep targets, just like my GPX, are threshold blanks.
Hmm.
So if you're going along with your Equinox and you're going along and you get zero in the threshold and then it comes back and you go back and you hear it the same way, more than likely that is an ultra deep target.
Hmm. I'll have to try it.
Yeah.
That's my
Put it on a
experience
couple
with the
times.
GPX. Um, I know in a good place that I'm digging ultra deep targets. I mean I dug a Canadian. Just drop the stream.
Dead.
Are we back? Uh,
Yep.
Yep.
There we are.
Yeah, it's back.
what's going on? Okay, cool. Cool. I don't, that's weird. YouTube is doing some funky stuff. So thank you guys for hanging out through that. I'm not sure. I'm not real sure why that did that, but we're gonna keep rolling. We're having a great time here with Coils to the Soils, Jim and Gina, and we've got 40 awesome people here hanging out with us. So maybe that was a good segue, I guess.
Nice.
Um,
Mhm.
so who else have I seen here? Jonas from Old Dominion Diggers, New Lover Autos here, uh, Jim
Sorry.
Steele, Jamie Henley, Tony 5280 Adventures, Wish Me Luck Metal Detecting. Um, this is cool. So Nathan, cheese bro, what's up, man? Glad to see you here. Um, Metal Detecting NYC. So anyway, we got an awesome stream going. Um, so so let's talk about tools that you use, not just the metal detectors. Do you have a scoop preference? Do you have a preference for the dry sand versus the wet sand? What, Gina?
Go ahead.
My scoop is horrible. I don't even know what it is. It's what is I don't
It's
know. It's a
RV.
I've
Or I don't
tried
know.
several different ones, but like Jim's got some really nice scoops. But again, I only weigh 100 pounds, and when you throw a scoop full of wet sand, that typically weighs more than me. So
You're bumping.
we are buffering. There we are. Okay. Yeah, so I'm really, really waiting for extreme scoops to come out. They're coming out with a 6-inch,
A 6.5
a
inch,
six and a
actually.
half inch sand
Sand
scoop.
scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really waiting for that to come out. I really want to try that. So yeah, I haven't really found a scoop that I like. So
Um,
Um,
yeah, Extreme Scoops does some really cool stuff. So Jim, are you using carbon handles?
I do I have two T-Rexes. I have one with the 5/8 holes and one with the 3/8 holes. I like the 3/8 for surf hunting, and then I like the 5/8 when I'm out on the beach. It seems to filter a lot faster. But I've had, I haven't had, but I've actually tried out the Extreme Scoops, and they're great scoops. Um, but I started out with the T-Rexes, and that's what I have now.
right,
So.
and they're
And
working great.
and I love them. I have one's got the 3/8 has the wooden shovel handle, which you can get at Home Depot or Lowe's or something. And I every year I put a varnish on it to keep it from breaking, and it keeps the wood nice and wet. I guess I don't know,
Pliable.
a little bit of protection. But I love the carbon fiber Anderson handles on the other one. It's really nice. So. I noticed this winter too that the wooden handle stays a little bit warmer than the carbon fiber does. Carbon fiber was a little bit cold on the beach for the hands, whereas the wooden one just seems to be a little bit warmer.
Are you hunting in the water in the wintertime?
A little bit, yeah. A little
He's
bit,
a
yeah.
little bit insane.
Yeah.
Or so are you using waders? Are you using a wetsuit, a dry suit?
Um, I was using my wetsuit, and the water got a little bit too cold. I think it's sitting at what 42 degrees right
It's
now,
cold
something
right
like
now.
that. And then if you're out, get out and it's 23 degrees with a wind chill of 13, that's a little cold. So I got rid of my chest waders. I had neoprene chest waders. I got rid of those only for the fact that I'm old, and if I have to pee, I can't get out of them fast enough. So,
It's true.
and I figured, okay, well, it's a little, cold out there, so I switched over to hip boots, and so I'm still able to get into the, where the shelf is, where the wave shelf is, and that's where a lot of the find was on the wave shelf. Still able to get into that with an occasional splash that I get wet, but I'm not going all the way in right now. So, but
Right on.
as soon as that water warms up a little bit, I'm in. So I got another new wetsuit and booties and stuff for Christmas from
For
Gina.
spring.
So I'll be back
Nice.
in. I love the water.
Yeah, you can't beat. I'm personally a water person. I dream of the day that I can get back into the water this year.
Hmm.
It can't happen fast enough.
Yep, I hear that. Yep.
You know.
But the good thing about the water too is you go out metal detecting, you'll have 20 people hunting the beach, and maybe three of us hunting water.
Right?
So, and I mean, most of the stuff that comes off people's hands is in the water. So,
Right.
It's true.
So that kind of brings me to the next part. What you know, there's a lot of competition on the different beaches, right?
oh yeah, I don't call it competition. Um, you know, nobody ever gets everything,
Right. You can't
and the
dig it all.
beaches
You can
change.
try, even on a
Yeah,
beach.
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
go out there. I've gone, behind people, and still found rings and stuff like that. People have gone behind me, and actually, one of our videos, she went in the same hole that I was digging, and pulled out a gold ring after I pulled out a gold ring, and I'm showing my, one of the other guys, hey, he wanted to see it, so I turned around to show it to
He
him,
walked away from
and
it.
she jumped in my hole and pulled out another gold ring. And
He
so
walked
yeah,
away from it. It was
Was it
great.
a set?
No, no,
it
it
was two
wasn't.
separate different. It was two different gold rings, but
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so like the Hoover boys would say, I called her a bottom feeder there for a while. So
I'm okay with that. I got a really nice gold ring out of the deal.
we
So,
we share everything. So I mean, as far
right.
as our fines and stuff, we share everything. Whatever we don't get back to the owners, at the end of the year, we'll cash out, and it helps
Yeah,
pay for equipment and stuff.
that's true.
And
Right.
but we split it straight down the middle, so it doesn't matter who digs it out. But it's hilarious
It was fun though.
that she did that to me. So,
There was a 5 foot rule. He walked like 6 feet, so that made it mine,
and
right?
speaking of animals, when you first start training, so not training, but teaching somebody
Training.
teaching, go, hi,
You
I
see
want you
what
to
I
bring
come up
just
with?
like this. No, when she first started hunting, it was funny how close, because on a beach, you kind of got to give people their space. You got to kind
Right.
of respect the people that are laying out there on the towels and stuff and stuff. But she'll go right up to them. I'm surprised she hasn't asked somebody to move,
I have.
so I can hunt underneath her towel, So,
Okay.
Oh my God.
was this your wallet? It's mine now. No, I'm joking.
Big shout out to New Hampshire Beach Metal Detecting. Thank you for the super chat, my
Hey,
friend.
Mike.
Nice.
He said, best guest yet. Um, it's
Thanks, Mike.
yeah. He's gonna be on here one day. Trust me.
Right. We
But
watch his channel a lot. So,
oh yeah, it's a fantastic channel. And you know what? It's interesting to me is because and maybe you guys can teach me about this is he teaches a lot on his channel. If you listen to when he talks about markers and when he talks about how erosion and how the sand is changing, do you guys have those same kind of markers that you guys look for?
yes, definitely. You can't really. I mean, if you're not paying attention to the beach every time you go, you're just out there to swing. That's all there is to it. Um, yes, we have certain markers at certain beaches we look for. We could tell whether we've lost sand or gained sand. And speaking
Mm-hmm.
of that, Mike up at New Hampshire, you know what? I keep teasing about him sending all his sand our way because we've had
Yeah.
nothing but sanded in beaches, but now he's starting to get sanded in a little bit after these
Right.
storms. So,
Send it back
but
up.
he's had some incredible finds this year and watching his channel. And
Yeah.
man, we die for beaches like that down here, I swear.
Yeah, I mean
Incredible.
Yeah.
it's
But
an interesting mix of what he finds. He finds old gold, old silver. Like to find you ever found a barber on a beach in Virginia Beach?
oh yeah, I
Definitely.
just found a peace dollar on one of
Yeah.
my
No,
videos.
it's fun.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah, I
Sorry, I've never
mean,
found a peace dollar. I've never found a silver
there's a lot
dollar. I
of
think that's fantastic.
yeah, there's
Um,
a lot of history on these beaches, and I found walkers, standing liberties, buffaloes, bee nickels. We find silver. Yep,
yeah. Well, that's cool, man. I mean,
buttons.
I found an Indian head on the ocean front.
Yeah,
Um,
So, see, I've
I,
never found one of those.
yeah.
I
Our
will
Indian
someday.
heads out of the salt water are pretty
I will
corroded.
someday.
So
yeah,
I mean, they
it
come
was
out
pretty rough, but
green, and
I
pretty
was
thin.
thrilled that day because I stayed and I hunted really hard in this one little area that seemed to be producing some old stuff. So I figured if it's producing a lot of big 50 cal bullets, and you guys know what I'm talking about. Uh,
Hmm.
so I just stayed and hunted these big heavy bullets, and there was an Indian head in there.
Yeah, if you're getting that heavy stuff, you're probably going to more likely find some of the gold and the silver and the older coins. So
Yep.
I think that day I found 5 rings. I found 3 gold rings and 2 silvers, and they're all vintage. Was also a day we were finding a lot of big 50 caliber bullets and stuff like that. So
yeah, we went out there that one day and pulled out 17 silver coins between the 2 of us. That was pretty awesome.
That is
It
incredible.
was pretty amazing.
It has its days. I mean, the beach changes every day. We can go out there tomorrow and it'd be sanded in, and go out the next day and pull silver coins out of it. So
wow,
there's you never know.
That is incredible. There's also some incredible chat that's going on in the chat room, and I'll let those guys.
I'm trying to read them too at the same.
It's hard to do both. I mean, people probably watch the replay and go, "What is that guy looking at?" But it's interesting. There's so many great channels that come and hang out here, and I feel pretty blessed that people want to spend their time to listen to my questions to the channels I like to watch.
The whole community is just awesome. There we go. Sorry.
So we'll move into a little bit of YouTube stuff. Why did you guys decide you wanted to do to get into YouTube?
I don't know. I thought it would be fun.
She's a social maniac.
I do. I love to socialize.
Me, just put some headphones on me and let me hunt. It's hard for me to film because I get into the hunt. I'm out there, got the headphones on. Leave me alone. I just want to find treasure, whatever. I'm having a good time. It's my release from work and all the other stuff, but.
All the rest of life when you can just go out, put some headphones on, and you're just by yourself. I mean, I still hunt with people, but there are times that even when I'm with people, I'm still by myself.
Right, and she loves the social, the Facebook. I mean, she's always on Facebook and stuff, and it was funny because it was kind of my idea to do. Hey, I was watching YouTube and I said, hey, we could do that, and then that got dropped after a little bit, and then she started it up and kind of pushed it a little bit further, and here we are. So
here we are, having fun with it, having a great time.
It's been fun. I'm still learning to loosen up a little bit out on the beaches. She's a natural. Everybody loves her.
I have to cut a lot of my verbiage out because I talk a lot.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw onto the screen a couple photos, and we can kind of talk about them. And as we go through, so there is that's an incredibly large gold ring there.
Right.
That was a beautiful gold ring.
And it did not fit me.
That was in the water, probably about knee deep, I think. Yeah, I think it was about knee deep. It was very, very deep.
It's really pretty.
And that was a great find. I found that on the beach right there.
Good night. You found that in a restaurant.
There's some questions in the chat. We will get to those. Tell me about this ring. This one really stuck out to me.
It's a pretty ring, but it's actually 925 silver with a cubic zirconium.
It's still really pretty.
It's still, we got a pile of silver rings. We're holding on to our silver, so I got a pile of them.
Yeah,
like what, 6 ounces of rings and stuff just in silver.
Yeah.
That ring I'm gonna have checked out. That's a vintage. That was black when I pulled it out of the sand.
Is that silver?
And that is 925 silver, and it's got 32 diamonds that all tested real.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a lens.
So this is a question that was in the chat that I said I'd get to. How do you guys clean your silver?
Oh, it's been a trial and error. I swear to God, I've watched YouTube and I have a lot of stuff trying.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Normally, what I'll do is if it's really tarnished, I use a little bit of silver cleaner on it for 10 minutes. And then what I'll do is I'll take it and put it in my, I have a jewelry tumbler, and I'll put it in there with just some dish soap and some water, and it'll just clean it all real nice up. So,
Oh wow. Very, very
now
cool. Tell me about this cross. This thing looks pretty ornate.
I got that about chest deep in the water. I'm still looking for the chain because you can see as the cross is not broken, the chain got broken, but I've yet to find the chain on it. It's
The chain's gotta be
14K.
out there.
How
I
how
think it
heavy is it?
retails for about, shoot, I think it was like 8
It was pretty
point.
heavy.
Yeah, I think it retails for like anywhere from $800 or $900.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
um,
Well, that's a so
And
that's a picture of a couple.
I'm
Looks
all
like a
pointing
vintage,
to
like
the
cameo
screen.
kind of ring, a diamond
Yes.
ring, and a
yeah,
class ring.
yeah, that was that day I was telling you about it. I found the 5 rings, the 3 golds in their vintage and the 2 silvers, and that's a pair of Ray-Bans. I've never seen. I tried cleaning them up. They didn't come out too good, but that's actually a pair of Ray-Bans. I love them. That's
That
like one of my favorite finds right
that
there.
is super cool, man. I like the fact that you kept them and didn't throw them away because I would display those. I would display those things proudly because I like them too, and that's why I pulled that
Those
picture.
are
I
pretty
think that's
cool.
really neat. What I
The
really
problem
think is
is
cool
all
is the fact that you found something and nature's already kind of taken it back.
Yep.
well, nature decided to leave after I ran it under some cold water because all those mussels were still alive.
They're all still alive.
Oh
So
well,
they all started dropping off. So
Yeah, yeah. We've brought many creatures home with us
oh my
unknowingly.
God,
Like,
every time I find a shell, I'm like,
yeah,
oh yeah,
you
Gina's gonna
examine
love
it,
it.
there's
And I'll bring
nothing
it
in it,
home.
you bring it home, it
And we'll be
starts
sitting in the
crawling.
garage examining our stuff, and all of a sudden the shell will get up and start walking.
It is a really good thing we live close to the beach
Yeah,
because
so we've returned
gotten,
several hermit crabs. So
that's my favorite find right there. I love that.
so
You say
so
that.
explain to everybody what that is because that's a really neat find.
Isn't that great? It is a timer fuse to a World War I shrapnel bullet.
bomb.
Bomb. Sorry, not bullet, bomb. When the bomb's complete, it stands about 18 inches high. But and I don't know on the plunger. I keep pointing to the screen like you can see me.
The plunger
Um,
part.
the plunger part, I don't know in World War I if they were still using acid to release the time or not. But it's really amazing. I really want to figure out how to clean it without ruining it more. So I haven't really touched it. It still looks just
Well, we
like
have to check
that.
and see if it's still active.
Right. Well,
Well, it shouldn't be
after
active. It
World
looks like
War
it. I mean,
One,
it's obviously exploded, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In
Well,
World War One, they would use acid. So when the plunger would hit, it would actually release a little vial of acid, which would set the whole thing off.
somebody's
So,
done their homework.
what? I was very excited. I was very excited about it.
That
But
thing
I
is
couldn't
heavy
find
too. I
it's
mean, that
really
thing weighs
heavy.
like 15 pounds.
And when we found that, I didn't know what it was when we found it. When I found that on the beach, a giant clump of rusted, we call whatchamacallits because we don't know what they are. And we just brought it home, doing our thing, and then started cleaning it up. And we saw the little rings going on there. And Jim was like, "Yeah, let me have that. Let me
Yeah,
clean that for
I'm
you."
all like,
So I'm out there with a hammer
she's
beating
yeah,
on
a
it.
hammer, and I'm all like, let me take it from here. And I have a feeling about this one. So,
Yeah.
and that thing was deep. How deep was it?
It was, oh my gosh, it was deep.
I
It
thought you were
was.
laying on your stomach digging it out.
Yeah, I was. I was. It was easily, I would say easily 18 inches.
Wow.
Really? That's not that deep.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
It was deep and it was fun. And like I said, I was making jokes when I was digging it. And I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I was digging up a bomb or something? And then we came home. And then we come home and clean it up and it's a fuse.
I think in one of our videos too, she was sitting there digging. I walked up on her. I'm all like, what are you popping a squat? And
Yep.
she's digging this big old hole and there's this long metal thing in it and it's kind of roundish. And I'm going, are you digging up a bomb? And she goes, I don't know. I said, oh, well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't continue digging that because it looks like it could be an explosive.
Right.
And I wanted to make sure that she had life insurance and stuff,
It's
and I
true.
was going to walk to the other side of the beach just in case, you know. So
It was a broken pipe, just for the record,
Yeah.
because I did insist on digging it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
You
have
can
to
have that.
investigate those things, right? Because you found a really
Yeah.
cool artifact. So, I mean, those
Yes.
funky signals, like you said, you got to dig those things.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's why they tell you not to
Yep.
dig with shovels out there, though, because there are artillery
Yeah.
shells and stuff that are out there. So,
Yeah.
some of these beaches, you got to be really careful. So,
That's true.
Wow.
That was
but,
fun though. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite right there. I think that's when I didn't mind digging in the dirt at that point. It's like now I can go play in the mud because I know that there's going to be something else out there. So
Yeah, there were a couple more questions in the chat. If I missed them, please tag me in the comments and I'll make sure I ask them. These guys are great guests. Let's hit this. What's your oldest find either of you have ever made?
my wife.
he's cool. Do you see what I put up with? See what I put up with? Talking about
If
the
there was
relics, no.
if there was a name change and it said Coils of the Soils with Gina, I would understand why.
That could happen. Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, you haven't been hunting
We
that long,
found
so your
this,
oldest find is World War One,
right, and
or
then we
was it
found
the V
this.
nickel?
Yeah, that V nickel was from
1883.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
1883. I think
found
it was.
that on a beach. It was great.
Right
And
on.
then yeah, that was fun.
And I don't personally remember my oldest find. I've found so many things. It's
I don't know if we found any 1700s
no,
at all.
Yeah.
no,
So I know you found a couple of 1800s buttons.
right.
Um,
Which is on our bucket list for relic hunting. So
Yes.
yeah.
we got to get out and
Buttons.
do more relic hunting.
Jamie said, "What's the highest value ring you've ever found?"
Oh, geez. Probably about 20, 27. No,
Those
that's not true.
platinums. Yeah. Yeah.
I found 3 rings one day. One was platinum. Actually, it was platinum, 14 karat gold, and an 18 karat gold.
Yes.
All valued about $17,000.
What?
Yeah,
I know, right?
combined. And actually, I was got it back to the person who actually lost them.
Dude,
And,
that's
That was
incredible.
amazing. That was amazing.
And with $200 cash in my pocket, she gave me and a bunch of hugs and kisses. And then her husband called me to congratulate and
The
thank
phone
me.
rang
And
for days.
they had their own metal detectors out looking for it and they couldn't find them and stuff. And they called me and I was able to go out and with the information that I had, I found them in about 2 hours. So even her dad called me to
Right?
thank me because I guess it was about ready for divorce time with that couple.
Yeah.
So
Wow, that's
But,
incredible.
Platinum diamond wedding band.
That amazes me. On Virginia Beach, it seems like about once a year somebody finds a $10,000 plus ring.
Right? How do you wear those to the beach? I don't understand.
Right. Like, I mean,
Like,
I don't understand. I don't get it. Why would you
Yeah.
wear that to the beach?
no.
Well,
And
I
even
mean-
when we hunt, even during the summer we hunt, we'll have a glove on to cover the rings. Like, I'm not going to lose my ring. I'll keep a glove on.
right, especially me with the water hunting,
Yeah.
I have to have it or my ring will slip right off.
Mhm.
So
Right.
and I don't want to be a victim of my own hobby.
A victim of your own.
So.
You'd be more than
Yeah.
a victim of that because I'd
But
kill him.
I mean, there's still a lot of good jewelry that's out there that we know of and know whereabouts that has been lost, that still hasn't been found or reported found.
Right.
And so, I mean, I think there's another ring out there right now that's worth about $32,000, probably covered by the insurance company. But,
Right.
Right. There's some good stuff out there still. So.
Wow, that's
You hear about
that's
it all the
crazy.
time.
And so another cool part is you guys actually actively look for people who've lost their rings too. It's not You know, everybody says like it, or at least I've had folks go, hey, there's these mixed feelings about finding somebody's lost valuable, right? Like how sad would it have been to
It's
lost
true.
it that day. And then
Yeah.
you're fine. You're like, yes, ching, I found something awesome. So,
Well, I think this year,
Right.
we're actually going to post free to the community for us to go out and find stuff for people. We don't want to charge them anything
Right.
because I mean that's to me that's taking advantage of their misfortune.
Right.
But we are going to offer a free community, you know, especially being that we're within walking distance of Yorktown Beach and stuff, and you know they can call us and you know if they want to donate something that's fine, but
Right.
we're not going
Right.
to ask them for anything,
Mhm.
and to just go out and you know make them maybe help them find their you know GoPro camera or their you know
Right.
their hearing aid, you know some of the stuff
Yeah.
that gets lost that we hear about,
That's
you know.
crazy.
yeah, I think
Can you
some of the
imagine trying to find a
reward of
hearing
just
aid?
finding it is reward enough. I found a little bitty silver chain and pendant for a girl. She stopped me on the beach and said, "Hey, I lost this over here. Can you find it?" And I said, "Yeah, I probably can. You just have to tell me where." So she showed me, and like literally in 3 minutes, they had picked up their towel and moved. And she's like, "This is where we were. Can you find it?" And she walked back to her towel, and I walked back and I dangled it out. I was like, "Is this it?" And it was a very inexpensive item, but it was very precious to her,
But it
and
was
that was
important to
reward enough. I
her.
didn't have to, I didn't need anything.
Right.
Yeah,
That's the
it
funnest
was
part.
really cool because I took my youngest daughter out. We have three daughters. And I took my youngest daughter out metal detecting, and we were over in the North Portsmouth area, somewhere in Norfolk, Portsmouth beaches. And she got to actually witness it. A young lady came up and said, "Hey, I don't know if you could help me or not, but I lost my engagement ring. My fiance's deployed right now, and he got this before he left, so it hasn't even been sized." And she was crying and stuff. And so I said, "Yeah, not a problem." So my youngest daughter got to witness me finding this ring for this girl, and she actually ended up crying because it was just so emotional.
Right.
And this girl's crying, going, "He found it, he found it." And then I watched her run across the parking lot yelling and screaming, "He found it, he found it, he found it." It was,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't help but get a tear
That's
in the
way
eye, you
better
know,
than,
when you return something. It's
that's
just,
the
it's so
best.
awesome, you know, especially when they think it's gone forever and they're never going to get
Yeah.
it back. So,
That's right.
but
That's right.
those are moments that are worth more than any cash in the world. But we do
Yeah,
get some.
absolutely.
We never.
I don't personally wear my wedding ring a lot. Well, one because of my profession, but two because my wedding ring is actually my father's and my grandfather's melted down into one ring.
Yeah,
And
that's
if I
Nice.
was to
awesome.
lose that, the value of gold isn't worth very much, but it
Right.
is worth all of the weight in the world to me.
All right.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so I
Mhm.
completely. I mean, I think that is awesome.
Yeah. You know, and
So
I understand a lot of, you know, guys, they'll charge, you know,
Right.
to find
And
something for people, and I understand. I mean, they're
right.
trying to make some money
Absolutely.
off their hobby, and
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that either. But we just feel that, you know, to just offer our services to the community for free is what we want to
I
do.
mean, we have
So,
fun doing it anyway. So
yeah,
yeah, it's
as
a
long as we
blast.
get a picture that I can
It's not all
post.
about the hunt sometimes. It's all about, you know, being out there and enjoying nature, and some of the wildlife that you see is incredible, and some of the chicks in the bathing suits during the summer is incredible. But
He's totally referring to me, right?
yeah,
Right.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I guess I won't be sleeping in the Relic Room tonight.
Oh, that's pretty
Right.
But
good.
I just think it's funny that our biggest video, most viewed video, is the one with the two girls that you talked to that were wearing the thong
They were
bathing
really
suits.
nice girls. I don't
That's
really.
not what it was
Or
viewing.
it doesn't matter. They were really sweet girls and they were
It has
interested
over
in metal
4,000
detecting.
views.
They were
If
interested
you
in
got
metal detecting.
Nobody's looking at our finds, everybody's looking at the two girls that were showing the finds to. So,
They're crazy.
anyways, we have a good time out
We
there.
do. We have a great time.
Right on, right on. So, um, NYC said, how many of your children metal detect? Do they metal detect, or they just occasionally go out with the weirdos, mom and dad?
We're not actually, we were considered weirdos for a while, but now we're kind of cool because we have a YouTube channel, especially to the grandkids.
Right?
But,
The grandkids think we're great.
but I think our youngest is the only
Yeah.
one that's actually gone out with us.
And she
and
just goes out. She's in school and she works and all of that.
and,
So
and she lasts about 30, 40 minutes. So,
right. Yeah. An
uh,
hour tops.
I met
But
them at
she
a
is
beach.
fun.
She was out with Gina at a beach, and I was at work, and they were hunting there for hours, and they didn't really find anything.
It's
And then I showed up, and within 10 minutes, I pulled a ring out of the
I'm
sand.
not kidding you. I was
So,
like, you need to go back home.
Yeah.
Like, we've been out here for hours and we found like a couple of coins and here he comes. Oh, look. Like, just go home.
Just never know, man.
Just go home.
Right
If you
on.
don't search, you will
yeah,
not find. So,
Right on.
but
So you have multiple people asking about the kitties. How are they doing?
I know, right?
oh my God,
They were here for like before the whole thing. They were right in our face.
it's past food
Um,
time, so I think they're a little mad at us right now.
Yeah.
But everybody loves our cats.
They're great.
They
Yeah.
started out being annoying. Every time we tried to do a wrap up, I don't know if it's the noise of the camera coming on, but they'll jump right up and they try to get in,
They
and
do. They do.
Everybody loves the cats. They're doing great. So,
Yeah.
Right on. Well, we've
I
made
posted
all
a
the
little.
way past an hour. This has gone.
Wow.
We had a few
I
hiccups
told
in the
you.
middle. Some
I
really
told you.
Right?
incredible stuff. So for Hard Knocks, you'll have to catch some of those stream, but they talk about their setup for an Equinox and Excaliburs for the beach. But we made it a whole hour, and that happens really quickly. So if you were to if both of you got to pick one place in the world without restriction, and you could go metal detect there tomorrow, where would you go?
Ooh.
I want to go to Australia.
I really want to go to Australia. Like, I just think that
Beach
would
or
be
gold?
the
I think-
best.
Hey, Tassie Adventure,
Oh.
you better open up a room. We want to go there.
Yeah. So are you gonna
I don't
look
know.
for beach, or look on the beaches, or for gold?
We'll see. Australia has both.
There you
Yeah,
go. So
so-
you're going to Australia. Okay. That's pretty good. I haven't gotten that one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah,
But
that would be.
like I said, there's a huge relic bucket list we'd like to, come up
Yes.
with too. So my first 3-ringer was on the side of our yard.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a drop 3-ringer on the side of our yard.
So for everybody who's here hanging out, tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. Where are you at on social media? We know you're Coils to the Soils on YouTube, but you guys have a Facebook
Yes.
page as well, right?
And then, yes,
Yes,
we
we
have the Facebook group page, which is also Coils to the Soil. And then, of course, YouTube. And we're on Twitter, but honestly, I really don't know how Twitter really works. So we're on it, but,
We're learning.
Whatever.
I mean, we
I'll
grew
get
up
on
with Atari. I can tell you how to play Pong.
right? So, yeah.
So we're learning. We're expanding as we go. So we've had some frustrations with the computer and stuff like that, and editing's been an
Yes.
issue, but we're learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We're having a great time.
You have
It's
Instagram?
a lot of fun. Meeting a lot of, I'm sorry, what
do we
was
have
that?
Instagram?
No, but I could work on getting that.
Well, right on.
Oh, yeah, Instagram. I should work on that. But yeah, really, so mostly here in Facebook, the group page.
Yeah, go check out their Facebook group page. It's growing like everything.
Yeah,
you guys
it's
are
pretty
what,
new.
600-700 subscribers now?
Yeah, just over
Just over
600.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So I
over
think we may have
600.
helped you out with a few folks this evening. There's some great
I
channels
guess.
here.
A few of them coming
But
here.
Cliff, thank you for the super chat. As always, you don't have to do
That was
that.
awesome.
Huge.
But I want to personally thank you guys both for coming on the channel tonight, hanging out for an hour of your time. You could have
Absolutely.
been out
It's always
doing
a pleasure,
anything else,
Matt.
but you decided that you wanted to come hang out with me and these 38 awesome people that are here in the chat.
Right?
Thank you. It's been
Oh,
awesome.
yeah, a lot of these people we see on other live streams, that's our,
Yeah.
we don't watch TV anymore. We just hang out on
Yeah.
live streams and talk.
It's true.
So,
Yeah,
It's a lot of
well, they
fun.
wanted to come and
lot of
hang
It's
out
way
fun.
with
more
you guys.
realistic.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's way more
that's awesome.
realistic. It's fun.
so,
Definitely
So,
appreciate it.
yep.
well, cool. I'm going to slide you guys off to the side and we'll wrap up the show.
Perfect.
And that'll be great. So thanks again, guys.
Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
guys.
So, fantastic guest. Jim and Gina from Coils to the Soil. Great people, funny, real, probably one of the most honest YouTube channels out there. If you haven't, go over and check out their stream. I want to stop and say thank you to Cliff, New Hampshire Beach Metal Detecting, and Shoebuckle Burt for the super chats. You guys don't have to do this. The fact that you guys show up and hang out on my stream on a Tuesday night where you could be anywhere else in the world doing anything else is more than enough for me. So, Bert, we will be thinking about you while you have your surgery. For everybody here at in the Relic Room, which is just me now, thank you guys to the from the bottom of my heart. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Sunday we have a different stream. We're gonna have a stream Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard, which will be 7 p.m. for the UK, I think. Time changes messes that up, but we will have Nicola White from Mudlarking from Tideline Art. I think I said that right. It's going to be a great stream. It'll be a lot of fun. It's a different time period, but we're going to have a great time. Thank you all for stopping in and spending your Tuesday night with me. Like I say every week, I hope you get to go out and find some history this week. And if you can't go out and find history, go out and make history. Until next time, my name is Matt. This is Gone Digging Live from the Relic Room. We'll see you right here.